Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Civil Service Commission of March 10, 2021. Could we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Story?
Here.
Commissioner Gazari? Absent. Commissioner McCarley?
Present.
Director?
Here.
Director, Commissioner Hartunian and Gazari are absent.
What's next?
The meeting of February 10th, 2021.
Mr. Petrosian, we're having a little bit of a hard time hearing you.
Minutes of meeting February 10th, 2021.
Any motion for approval?
Approve.
Second.
And a second. Unanimous, no roll call necessary. Oral communication, I see no cards. What's next?
Next, we got recruitment and examination report.
Mr. Doyle.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, this item is the recruitment and examination status report for last month. These are our recruitments listed by staff, job title, department, whether the recruitment is open or promotional, we have filing period, and then any exam dates if we're aware of those yet. You'll notice we have the city manager process listed, even though that's not a civil service process. I think everyone's well aware of the appointment of Mr. Rubik Galanian last night by the city council. So good news on that. We also have the general manager for Glendale Water and Power, which actually is a civil service recruitment, which staff is working with a search firm, but we'll be handling that process this month and probably into next month as well. On the report, you'll see a total of, it looks like 57 recruitments in total at various phases, and it's kind of where we were last month. We have, again, new recruitments that come in, and as we complete others, they get taken off. So anyway, if the commission has any questions on this item, I'd be happy to try and answer them. Otherwise, this is a note and file.
Any questions? Okay, what's next?
Eligible list established.
Mr. Doyle?
Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, this too is a note and file item. It's a recitation of the eligible lists that have been established, again, since our last meeting. You'll see a whole slew of activity, sort of a busy month for the police communications world. And we did several recruitments at that level, trainee level, and then we had a lateral recruitment as well, hoping to find people from other agencies willing to move over. And then we have the various bilingual type recruitments for all of these, and quite a high quantity selection process. And ultimately, we ended up with our typical eligibility list. And again, this is one of those that's a very challenging process, many steps along the way. And even though we have a list, doesn't mean it's over at this point, because we still have, the prospective candidates have to go through a background investigation. And then when appointments are made, they all serve a one-year probationary period. So anyway, it's a very long process, but a very thorough process for, again, a group of positions that are pretty hard to fill. We also have a list established for administrative associate in housing. And then, of course, the bottom of that list, there's the reinstatement that the commission authorized last month for the energy marketer trader. As I said previously, this is a note and file item, but if you have questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you.
Any questions? Let the record reflect that Commissioner Gazarian has joined us on the meeting. What's next?
Specification for approval, police chief, adjutant assistant.
Mr. Doyle.
Mr. Chair, members of the Commission, this is a class specification for approval, and this is a new classification called Police Chief's Adjutant Assistant. This is a new position, obviously within the police department, and this individual will be working out of the chief's office alongside of the chief's adjutant, which is usually filled by a police sergeant. And this position will be working with the chief and his adjutant on just a variety of different community outreach, social networking, media relations, research, and other things along those lines. If approved, we do intend to do a promotional recruitment process and give individuals within the organization the opportunity to compete in what would be a fairly high-profile type of position, working again with the chief and members of the community. It does require public safety experience, so we'll most likely be finding a candidate internally that who has experience in the police department and someone who's passed a background check as well. So with that, this is under consideration for the commission. If questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them. Chief Povolitis is available as well, as is Ani Navarro from my staff who work with the police department on this.
Any questions? Anyone?
I can, unless there are questions, I'll move the item.
Mr. Sturian, and it seems like Mr. McCarty, Commissioner McCarty has seconded the motion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Stoyan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kazarian? Commissioner Kazarian?
There might be some technical difficulties, so let's just move forward, then we'll come back if you need to.
Commissioner McCarty?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Chief, for showing up. Didn't have much questions to ask you, but thanks for showing up anyways and being with us.
My pleasure. Always good to see you in a virtual sort of way.
Okay. What's next?
Before we move on, can we confirm if Mr. Kazarian is having technical difficulties?
I could hear you all.
Oh, did you also respond with a vote?
I did.
Oh, we didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Mr. Kazarian is the vote yes?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Kazarian voted yes. I just wanted to note that. So it's a unanimous vote by all the members that are present. Is that okay? Go ahead.
Yes. And is your camera not working?
Whose camera?
Mr. Kazarian's camera.
I see myself.
We don't see you.
Maybe he has stopped the video.
I'm on my phone. I'm having difficulty with the computer, so I don't know. Do you see my face?
Okay, why don't we do this? We can hear Mr. Kazarian. We know that he's having some difficulty, so why don't we just move forward? If by any chance we get him, get a picture, that's fine. If we don't, then we have his voice. Is that okay? Oh, there he comes.
It's him.
Now we see Mr. Kazarian. Okay, we're good. Let's go to the next item, please.
Job bulletins for approval. Fire engineer, fire captain, and fire battalion chief.
Mr. Doyle?
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, this item are job bulletins for some key promotional opportunities within our fire department. It's going to be a busy spring in the fire department. We have a bulletin for your consideration, first for fire engineer, then for fire captain and fire battalion chief. And again, these are really all of the promotional positions within the job series, starting from the engineer, which is the person who's in charge of the apparatus and driving the trucks and engines. The captain, who is the first line supervisor, within each fire company, and then the battalion chief, which is a managerial position, overseeing an entire battalion or a bureau. Because these are because all of our police and fire sworn safety recruitment processes require commission approval, these items are being brought for you for your consideration today. Again, this is a whole series of exams we'll be undertaking in the next few months, starting with the fire engineer. And on that bulletin, we have proposed dates of the filing period and examinations. We don't have those yet for the captain and battalion chief, but we're going to be doing these in somewhat of a succession over the next few months. As you know, these are very challenging and very competitive processes, and really something very fascinating to watch because they all involve, to some degree, performance exams where the candidates will have to do some type of manipulation or driving or operation of equipment. So I have made this offer before to the commission if they're ever interested in discreetly observing some of these processes. If they want to contact my office, we'd be happy to arrange for that type of an observation, just so you see what the candidates do go through in order to get promoted. So anyway, with that, these bulletins are here for your consideration. There are 3 of them, and we have Chief Lanzas here to answer any questions, and Ms. Hunanian from my staff as well. So, Mr. Chair.
Any questions? Anyone? Any motions?
Move to approve.
Mr. McCartney moves, and Mr. Asterian seconds. Could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Asterian,
Yes.
Commissioner Kazarian, Commissioner Kazarian,
Yes, can you hear me?
Got it.
Commissioner McCollum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Chief, for joining us. Sorry we didn't ask any questions, but it's a good thing when we don't ask questions. So thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Chairman of Carrion and members of the commission. It's always great to see all of you. Thank you very much.
All right. What's next?
Reports.
Mr. Doyle.
Mr. Chair, all we have is our monthly late performance evaluation. As I've said before, we continue to do well in spite of all the challenges, and due to the pandemic, we have a lot of people working remotely, so there's not a lot of daily interaction in the organization. And as you probably well know, the months of December, January, and February were just horrendous as far as the pandemic and the case numbers. But nevertheless, we've done a good job. The organization's done a good job with keeping up with the performance evaluations, and looks like, of the 15 departments, we have 13 that have no past due evaluations, and we have 2 departments with some on first notice, 1 from community services and parks, and then 3 from fire. So with that, this is a note and file item, and if you have any questions, again, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you.
Any questions? Okay. What's next?
Civil Service Commission staff comments.
Any comments from anyone? I just have one comment. I wanted to congratulate Mr. Glanian for being selected as the new city manager. As Mr. Historian mentioned previously, great choice, a guy who's been in the city for a long time, who knows the city, who I thought would get the job, but you never know in this day and age. And I'm glad that he was selected for the city manager. I think he's going to do a good job, and I wish him the best of luck. Any other comments? Any motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.